Oh, okay. Awesome. And I'm going to mute you all, but you know the deal. You know, if you need to say anything, please do speak up. If you want to use the chat, I try to keep an eye on it. I have a weird thing happening in my hip. I don't know if it's piriformis syndrome or bursitis or something. So I can only practice on one side most things, but I think we can handle it. We'll be all right. So anyway, so Thich Nhat Hanh, do you all know Thich Nhat Hanh? Right, beloved Buddhist monk, one of the most kind, gentle, wonderful beings that ever walked the planet, had a beautiful monastery in France and was a great social activist. And he just passed away. And very sad for those of us in the spiritual yoga and meditation community. He was such a light. But I wanted to share with you some teachings from him. And this is from Maria Popova from the Marginalia. She collected a bunch of lovely things that he wrote. And I love the first thing that she said when she wrote about him was that as Westerners, that we have to put aside our cynicism when we look at what Thich Nhat Hanh talks about and writes, because it's so simple and childlike. And, you know, those of us who are like, think we're too cool for all that over here, or wherever we might be in the West or in the world. But it's really beautiful to sort of think like a child like that, to let our cynicism go and to come back to something really simple and childlike. And so talking about the four mantras for love, to have a really beautiful, loving relationship. And it could be with someone else. So you could think, as we do this today, you could think about someone in your life that you really, really love. Could be you have a pet, even doesn't have to be a human, could be your dog or cat, or you could think about it for yourself. But I have to say that is the hardest practice often, right? Jack Cornfield one time said to someone, they said, you know, where do I go with this practice? You know, how do I get more enlightened? How do I develop? And he said, spend a whole month doing loving kindness on yourself. And he said, people go, no, anything but that. So if you want to try it on yourself, you could do that. Or if you prefer, you could choose another lovely being in your life. So he said, hang on one sec. Did Susan just come in? Hi, Susan. Oh my goodness. Yay. Welcome. All right. So let me go back to, hang on a second. So you're thinking about someone that you love, or you're thinking about some animal that you love, or maybe you're thinking about yourself. And we're going to work with the 4 mantras that Thich Nhat Hanh has for love. And just a little bit to what he says about a mantra. He says a mantra is a kind of magic formula that once uttered can entirely change a situation. It can change us and it can change others. Isn't that beautiful? A mantra can change us, can change others, and it can entirely change a situation. And so we're going to actually get started right away, and we're going to intersperse the mantras and some mudras to go with them as we practice today. So you can just find a seat that feels right for you today. The body's not speaking to you too much. You feel pretty supported, and you can let your hands rest wherever they want to be. They might find your body. They might find each other. They might rest on the ground, wherever it feels most supportive, and taking a couple of breaths, just clearing the land, breathing in and really letting it all out, maybe even till every last drop is gone, and just feeling that lovely emptiness just for a moment before the next in-breath fills you, right? You're being breathed. You can notice that, the gift, the unconditional love of being breathed. And as you're ready, if you want to join me in an Om, you can breathe in really deep and wide. Om. Letting your hands release from wherever they were. If your eyes were closed, you can blink them open. And we're going to start sitting with feet in front and hands behind, a little bit wide with the feet, not like super wide, but just maybe a little wider than hip width apart. I'm going to turn my fingers towards my hips, but you can turn them any which way. And then just let your knees go side to side, just washing, windshield wipering. So the beginning, as usual, it's a little bit like not exactly yoga as we do here. So you might have to peek here and there, but we're going to do it a few times. So my hope is that as we go through this sequence, you can really start to make it your own, add or subtract as you wish, rest when you need to, and really put your heart in it. So the next time your knees go over to the right, you can go with them. Pick up your left arm. I'm going to reach my left arm around and on the floor. So I'm letting it rest on the floor and stretching it way out. So it's a little bit like a deer pose here. And then coming back to do the same thing on the other side. So knees are going to swing over to the left. Going to bring the right arm around and reach it across the floor. And do that a couple of times. So each time you're going to reach that opposite arm and stretch it away. A couple times like that. We're going to work a lot of shoulder stuff today. The usual shoulders, hips, all the good stuff. So the next time that you end up on the right side, knees going over to the right, left arm reaching, reaching, reaching. Stay there for a moment and just let things settle. Take a big breath in. As you exhale, let your bones get a little heavier. And now as you come up from here, start to stretch your left leg out straight. So you're going to come up and it's sort of like a Janu Shirshasana position. And don't worry if it didn't happen like that. You just get to this place. And then you can slide your left arm down the leg, right arm reaching up and over your ear. Any movement, any fluttering, any snuggling that wants to happen, just let it be. And then as you come on up from there, going to take 2 feet to the floor again, kind of the way we started, a little wider than the hips, but I'm going to walk my hands out in the middle of them. So it's like almost like a combo of a squat and a seated forward fold, just letting the arms reach and the head drop in between the upper arms for a moment. And then we'll come up and do it all over again on the other side. So hands behind you. Windshield wiper a few times. Just swish, swish across, let it wash around a bit. And this time we're going to head over to the left with the knees. So knees drop left. I'm going to swing the right arm around and reach it along the floor. Take a breath in as you exhale, bones settle, skin softens, maybe you spread out a bit. And then when you come back, the right leg stretches out. The right leg gets long and strong and straight. And then you can tip sideways over it. And you can be still, or you can invite in any movement that helps things soften, especially around your heart, ribs, lungs. As you come up, 2 feet come back to the floor. They're a little wider than your hips, and almost like a turtle going into its shell. You can drop your head and round your back. Soften your jaw, maybe so much that you feel the lower jaw get a little heavier and fall towards the floor. Maybe imagining all the bones in your face, letting the bones of your face soften a bit. And then come on up. So we're going to add on to this a few times. So hands are coming back behind you and you're going right and left with the knees. We'll do all that again, but we're going to add on some fun stuff at the end. So the next time your knees go over to the right, you're going with them. Left arm swings along and you reach it out and pour yourself just like a puddle for a moment. Be a puddle on the ground. And then come on up. As you come up, the left leg straightens and you tip sideways over it. Janu Shirshasana, floating your way back up. 2 hands come behind you, feet wide in front of you. A little tortoise going into its shell. Crawl your arms out, drop your head. Now we're going to change it. We're going to add on here. So as you come up, toss your arms up into the sky. And can you do the same with your legs? Can you pick them up? And they're still wide. So I'm just sort of like fluttering here. You might like flutter your fingers or your toes a little bit. And then I was thinking about a clock when I was doing this earlier. Tick, ticking, you know how the hands of a clock, they move like tick, tick, tick. So we're going to go 1 tick at a time as best you can down to the floor. So arms and legs will each go 1 tick. And I know it's really hard. Another tick, 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 tick until you get down. That wasn't very good what I did, but that's okay. So once you get down there, you're in a big X marks the spot. Take your right arm, reach it up and over your head, and then reach it on the left diagonal. So you're reaching it over towards your left hand, reaching, but keep your right leg heavy. Try to keep the right leg just as it is. So you get this big diagonal stretch through the whole body. Your right heel is super heavy. And then come back and go the other way. So the left arm is going to sweep across and over towards the right diagonal. My left heel is not moving. It's staying on the floor. And then I come back. As I come back, I'm going to hook my thumbs. Scooch down so you can see me hooking thumbs, arms stretched overhead, seeing if it's a possibility, might be yes, might be no, to really press the legs down and then come right up with the upper body. Whew. And then maybe there's a forward fold, any amount, doesn't have to be a lot. And if it didn't happen like that, you know the deal, right? You just get up any which way you can. And then from there, we're gonna come on up, cross-legged seat, just simple seat for a moment. And I'm gonna introduce you to our first mudra and our first mantra. So you're gonna take your hands and touch the fingertips together, touch the heels of the hands together, the thumbs and the pinky side, but there's this opening in the center, and this is a mudra for presence. It's called Samputta Mudra, and so you can bring that right in front of your heart. Eyes can stay open or they might close softly or just get a little fuzzier. And this is the first mantra from Thich Nhat Hanh. He says, the most precious gift you can give to the one you love is your presence. So the first mantra is very simple. Dear one, I'm here for you. Isn't that beautiful? Childlike and simple. Dear one, I'm here for you. So you could place in your mind, in your heart, anyone or anything, or even yourself. And repeat that mantra a couple of times. If it's a person or if it's an animal, you can picture them really clearly as if they're right in front of you. Dear one, I'm here for you. So simple, so powerful. It can change everything. And then we'll go on and do a little more. So go ahead and release your mudra. Take your hands behind you. Same thing, other side. So knees are going side to side. This time they're going to swing over to the left. Going to bring the right arm around and reach it away. And when you come up, right leg stretches straight. Tip yourself sideways over the leg. And then bring yourself back up. 2 feet wide in front of you. Turtle, I don't know, I was trying to say tortoise and turtle and it came out weird. But taking some little rounded shape here in between your legs. And then arms go up, legs go up, everything flies. And tick, tick, tick your way down. I'll see if I can do it with a little more control this time. Maybe not. Oh, goodness, that's very hard. So same thing, once you get down, you're going to do that X marks the spot, right arm sweeping across and over towards the left diagonal, right heel stays planted. And then back to center, left side, reach across, twirling the spine, rolling through the spine, and then back. Thumbs hook. Arms are overhead. Maybe the other thumb is on top just to mix it up. Press your heels down. Press the backs of your knees down and see if you can come up with arms reaching and straight back. And then fold between your legs. Again, this is all just practice, you know, so it's always okay if you're not good at something. That's really hard for me. Is that hard for you all to be not good at something? But it's okay. It's really okay. So come on back up. Simple seat. You can cross your legs together and I will introduce mudra number 2, but we're going to make them into a little vinyasa of sorts. So you can start with mudra number 1 again. Fingertips touching, heels touching, samputta, thumbs touching, pinky edges touching. Dear one, I'm here for you. And then the second mantra is so beautiful. The second one is, darling, I know you're there and I'm so happy. And so for that one, we're going to do Yamapasha Mudra. So from here, you're just going to hook your pointer fingers together. One tugs up and one tugs down. And it's fun to go between them. They go from Samputta to Yamapasha. Nice to kind of get that finger dexterity. So this is a mudra for interdependence, right? Dear one, I know you're there and I'm so happy. So picture that being, that person, that dog, or yourself, and repeat that a couple of times. Dear one, I know you're there and I'm so happy. Isn't that beautiful? Yes, Kitty, I'm saying it to you. And then you can release your hands. And we're going to add on one more time to all that. So coming back to where we started, your hands are behind you, your feet are wide in front of you, and you've gone side to side a few times. When you go to the right, take the left arm with you, whoosh, reach it around. You might even stretch both arms out here if that feels nice to you. You could fold a little closer to the ground. Just an option, everything is a suggestion. Then as you walk your way back up, the left leg straightens and you tip it sideways. I'm gonna hold my right knee with my left hand so I get a little bit more a sense of really twisting through the upper body. And then coming up, hands behind, feet wide in front, that little turtle situation, walk it out, drop your head, round your back. And then coming up to fly, roll up through the bones of your spine, send your arms up like balloons, legs floating in the sky, and he's shaking, wiggling, twinkling, and then tick, tick, tick your way down. I'm trying to figure this one out. Like my body just doesn't quite understand it yet, but I'm hoping it does one day. Hook your thumbs. Oh wait, we got to X marks the spot. Right arm goes across, reach, reach, reach as far as you can. And then back. And the left arm goes across. The left heel is like an anchor as you reach across and find that beautiful spiral line. And then back. Now hook your thumbs, press your legs down, and up we go. And over we go. Some amount, any amount. You might stay in the center. You might walk it out on any diagonal. Whatever feels nice for your bones here. I like kind of doing a little sway. And then when you come up, arms go up, legs go up. And we tick-tock it back to the floor. Go ahead, one arm goes up and over. Take that X marks the spot and then release. Other arm goes up and over, X marks the spot with a twist. And then release. Hook your thumbs, up we go all the way. And fold. And this time, as we come up, hands come behind you. Feet are gonna press down onto the floor. You can lift your pelvis way up to the sky, tip your head back, rock it a little bit, and the neck there, and the upper shoulders getting a little squish, a little squeeze. And then come on down to sit. Cross your legs, and we'll do one more mantra and one more mudra and one more mantra. And so we've got our dear one, I'm here for you. Samputta, we got dear one, I'm so happy that you're there. This one is our Yama Pasha. And then we're gonna go to this one. This is called Pralamba. So from Yama Pasha, you just touch your thumbs together. And that's all, you just take this like simple palms up and out. And this one I had to look at this, the name of it, Pralamba. This one's called Pralamba. And the next mantra is so beautiful. Dear one, I know you're suffering. That's why I'm here. Dear one, I know you're suffering. That's why I'm here for you. This is the mudra of benevolence, Pralamba. So picturing that being in your mind, and you say to them as if they're right in front of you, dear one, I know you're suffering. That's why I'm here. And then you can release it, and we'll do it one last time. All right, hands behind, side to side, swish, swish. Last one, our knees are going over to the left, the right arm wings around. And you can stay like we've been doing, or you can stretch both arms out and really pour yourself down. When you come up, the right leg stretches straight out along the ground. You can tip sideways. I'm going to hold my left knee with my right hand so I can tip and twist. And then back up to feet on the ground, wide in front of you. Little tortoise goes into the shell, crawl it forward, round your back. And then sparkle fingers go up, sparkle toes go up into the sky. And we do our very best to try to slow down this descent. Not easy, but we try. We get there, we do one more rolling X marks the spot. So start to swivel the spine, start to coil over towards one side, any side, doesn't matter. And then back to X marks the spot, and then a big spiral in the other direction. And back to X marks the spot where you hook your thumbs and fly up to sit. Hold it forward. Wiggle, sway, stay still, honor your longings. What do your bones crave? And then you can roll it on up. Feet to the ground, hands behind you. Pick up your pelvis, tilt your head back. And as you come down from there, sitting, simple seat, whatever that means for you, whatever feels right. Then we have our last mantra. And this is the one that Thich Nhat Hanh says is actually the most challenging. And this one, he says, I'll tell you why. He says that the final mantra, the mantra for reaching out to ask for help, is the most difficult of the four, for it dwells in the place of our greatest vulnerability. And at the same time, pushes us to lean on our most crippling crutch. So the mantra for this one is, dear one, I'm suffering, please help. So we'll start with, dear one, I'm here for you, Samputta. And then, dear one, I know you're there and I'm so happy. Hook your index fingers and tug your hands apart. And then touch your thumbs together, open your palms. Dear one, I know you're suffering. That's why I'm here for you. And then you can just fold your fingers into each other in a soft interlace, bring it over your heart. Dear one, I'm suffering too, please help. Oh, God, it's so beautiful. It makes you cry. We'll do it one more time. So fingers touching. Samputta, dear one, I'm here for you. And remember what he said in the beginning, that it has power to change people, to change situations, but you got to put your heart into it. You got to really bring all your presence. Make the words meaningful. Dear one, I'm here for you. Hook your fingers, pull them apart. Dear one, I know you're there and I'm so happy. Touch your thumbs together, open your palms. Dear one, I know you're suffering. That's why I'm here. And then interlacing the fingers over your heart. Dear one, I'm suffering too. I need you. So we can let those go, just dissolving the hands. And just to notice for a moment, to sit with that. You might have eyes open or closed, to feel if there's any reaction in the body, any change of the vibration, the background hum, anything at all that you notice. Maybe nothing. And then you can come onto all fours. I'm gonna move my camera back so I got some room. Come onto hands and knees. Move your spine around, as we do, just sort of shake it out. Let some of the sticky bits in between the bones of your spine start to melt, right? Can you imagine that? That wherever you feel that stickiness, maybe that ache, whatever that, sort of stuck feeling is, bring your mind there and imagine it melting. And then from there, we're going to bring just the left forearm down, horizontal in the front here, across. So I've got my left forearm across, my right palm is still on the floor. And I'm going to take some cat-cows that way, just to notice the difference, right? It's a little bit strange sometimes. Asymmetrical movement like this is really good because most of the movement in our lives is actually asymmetrical and not quite operating as linear as most yoga poses. So to mix it up like this, powerful for your brain and your body. And then you can just come to a simple spine, nice and neutral. The right leg is going to stretch back, toes to the floor. And then I'm going to make kind of a big rainbow with my right leg, taking it out to the right side, tapping it. And then crossing it back behind the left leg, tapping it as far back as I can. And do that a few times. Just keep repeating that. And you're trying to keep your shoulders nice and square and steady, and to keep your left hip steady and hugging the midline as if there's a wall against your left hip. Do that one more time or two more times, and then we'll meet with the right leg out to the side. And you can stay there. The left arm is still on the floor as it is. Take the right arm, reach it up. So you're finding a big open twist here. And then just like the left arm, the right arm is going to come down horizontal. So they're in line with each other. They're sort of one on top of the other. And then you can take the left arm up and find a twist the other direction. And keep going like that. It's a feeling of almost like you're braiding your arms. And if you feel inspired to, you can cross them even further. right? I'm trying to reach my hand way over, lifting the other arm, and keep crossing and reaching with the arms. So noticing which arm is on top. We're gonna land with the right arm on top over the left one. So no rush, but whenever you get there, right arm, left arm, they're in line, one over the other. Can you hold your elbows here? Hold on to your elbows, tuck your back toes under, and how about a downward dog? So what I'm gonna do is pick up my back knee, swing the right leg back, and I'm in a downward dog here on my elbows. Do your best with it. I know it's a little bit weird. Go ahead and touch your knees carefully down to the floor. Keep your arms as they are. I'm keeping my toes curled, and I'm gonna stand up on my knees and take these arms up overhead and see if there's some back bend here. And might be very little, might be a lot, but I'm really trying to keep my upper thigh bones hugging back, navel kind of coming into spine a little bit, so there's some support. And then child's pose, releasing the arms, just sort of melting down. You might widen your knees a little or a lot, stretch your arms forward, or you can always bring them down by your side and just let things settle. Dear one, I'm here for you. Dear one, you're there. I know you're there, and I'm so happy. Dear one, I know you're suffering. That's why I'm here. And dear one, I'm suffering too. Take another breath and then start to roll your way out. You can crawl it back out to all fours. We'll do that just like that on the other side. So starting with simple cat-cows, maybe you want to do a circle with your spine. I just love this one. I feel like it really helps to free up space around the ribs, especially where the diaphragm attaches to the rib cage. Gives us some space, some softness there, so we can breathe a little easier, so we can accept that beautiful gift of the breath. And then from there, right arm's coming down. It's horizontal. Left palm stays on the floor. I'm gonna stretch my left leg back and then do that little rainbow with it. I can't do it on this side because I got my hip thing going on, but you all can do it. So making a rainbow, you're reaching it up and over to the side and then crossing it back behind you as far as you're able to. Go a few times up and over. Right hip is hugging in, shoulders nice and strong here. Next time the leg goes out to the side, that's where you keep it. So keep it there, take a moment. And then we're gonna go back and forth with the arms. So first your left arm goes up and left arm comes down, mirroring the way the right arm is. Right arm goes up. And so we're just going back and forth, placing one forearm above the other or below the other each time. It doesn't matter where you put it actually, but we are gonna land with the left arm on top. So no rush. When you get there, left arm over right arm, hold on to your elbows. If you're able to, tuck your back toes under. Downward dog, you can bring your left leg back to meet your right. If this doesn't work, you can always do regular downward dog or be on your hands and knees. That works great too. That's where we're coming down anyway. So drop to your knees. You can keep your toes curled as you come up to kneeling. Tall on your knees. Reach your elbows up. Try to bring them biceps back behind your ears any amount, even teeny little bit. And then child's pose, release, arms draping in front of you, knees widening, pour it on out, drop everything, drop your bones and breathe right into them. How are your bones right now? I follow this really funny, like little kids Instagram called Live from Snack Time. And they post all these really funny little things that kids say. And one said, I'm not tired, but inside my bones are tired. So I'm tired. I get that. How are your bones today? He said, my body's not tired. That's what he said. My body's not tired, but my bones are. So you can take your bones however they feel, weary, joyful. Take them, bring them into a downward facing dog. Let's come back. A regular down dog, nothing fancy here. So downward facing dog, and take a little walk in your dog, tread through the feet, pedal it out a bit. We're gonna bring the right leg up to the sky and right foot between the hands. I'm going to show you this way because we're going to come into a warrior two. So you can anchor the back foot. Start to reach your arms up and around like a big sun rising until you come into your warrior two. And when you arrive, feel your feet. Feel the ground beneath you. Make a really sincere connection. As if you could open up through the pores and the soles of your feet to drink the breath right into your bones. And now take right elbow to right thigh. It's horizontal, just like we've been doing. Left arm reaching straight up now. We're going to do just like we did, back and forth with the arms in that sort of a cat-cow situation. So left forearm's coming down to the knee. Right arm is going to reach up. It's challenging. So you really have to twist from the belly button up through the rib cage. And then switch. Right arm goes down. Left arm goes up. And we're going to go back and forth like that. Just a couple more times. Landing with your right arm on top. Hold your elbows. Lift your arms up. Raise your torso. Pull the arms back. Any amount. Trying to move them back in space. And then from there, releasing, hands fall to the floor on either side of your front foot. Downward dog, step back. Take it for a roll out into plank. You don't need to watch me here. Take a vinyasa of your choice. You could go slow, you could go faster, you could add things or subtract things. And then do come to a plank at some point here. And as you come to your plank, try to go very slow. You could always use your knees coming down onto your front. So as you come down onto your front, bring your elbows to the floor, Sphinx pose. So we're going to continue this arm thing because we're going somewhere with it. So in your Sphinx, doesn't matter which arm, take one arm, reach it up to the sky. So there's an upper body twist. And then bring that one back horizontal in front of you. Other arm goes up to the sky. Right? You get it. Same idea like we've been doing, reaching, twisting, trying to keep the lower body pretty quiet. And then once you do this, you can start just like we did in the beginning. You can start to inch your arms a little further away, right? So that as I bring the arm down, I'm sliding it a little further away. And so any amount that you come towards this crisscross arm situation, and then we'll fold. So let's have the right arm on top. So we're all in the same place, right arm over left. You might keep your elbows on the floor and your arms in line with each other. So a crossed arm Sphinx. You might slide the hands away a little bit. You might slide the hands away a lot and really lay on your shoulders. There's lots of places to go with it. We won't be here too long. I know this isn't the most comfortable place to be. So here's where you might want to just watch for a moment. It's kind of a funny transition. So we've got the right arm on top. I'm going to start to pull the right arm out. And as I do, my right knee is bending so that I can just sort of fall into a twist. And as usual, if it didn't happen that way, don't worry about it. You just get there. I'll show you again. So I have my right arm over my left arm. And now I'm going to pull the right arm out and let that help pull me into a twist, bending my right knee along the way. And then just come to a nice sort of falling apart, bones loosening. Maybe it's a little wobbly. You can move anything, anywhere. And then keep going until you're on your back. And when you're on your back, pull your right knee into your chest. Give it a nice, happy little squeeze. And then take it straight up in the air. No hands. Arms by your side, palms down. So stealing a little bit from Pilates here. So you're going to take your leg in a counterclockwise circle a few times. Big circle around. And the next time that you take it up and over, cross it all the way over your body. Reach your arms up overhead. Drop your right foot all the way to the floor. Let that pull you right over onto your front side. And you're going to take an asymmetrical cobra, hands coming under shoulders. Got my right leg stuck out to the side, left leg behind, peeling the chest open, lifting up. And then from there, simple child's pose. I'm going to slide the right leg back. Rounding back to child's pose so we can do it again. On the other side, come on up to all fours, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Give it a moment, let yourself arrive. Feel yourself being breathed. And then you can lift your left leg way up high and step it forward through the hands, or as many steps as it takes. You just get it up there. Anchor the back foot, it's warrior two. So as you come up, there's a big winging open of the arms into your warrior two, hip square to the side. That's it. And then go ahead and lay your left elbow across your thigh. Right arm's going straight up. Instead of over the head, we're going straight up today so that we can take this twist. And I know it's challenging with that back heel on the ground. So it might be wobbly, or it might be sort of small, this twist. It doesn't have to be huge, but you do your best. You make what works for you here. And then the next time that your left arm is on top, go ahead and hold your elbows. Come on up, arms to the sky, elbows overhead. You're trying to peel the front chest open, arching back. So lift the back bottom ribs up away from the pelvis, and then pour your hands down. Downward dog, step back. You can take it for a vinyasa. You can drop to your knees and rest. You can do what feels right in this moment. And then we'll all meet in a plank. There's no hurry at all. And that plank will eventually come all the way to the floor, taking some time to get there. When you arrive, we're back in Sphinx, elbows down. Now, some of you love Sphinx pose, me too. So if you're very happy right here, please feel free to stay right here the whole time. Otherwise, one arm goes up, comes down horizontal, another arm goes up. We'll do it a few times, this kind of walking twist, until you got the left arm on top, and you can hold on. Oh wait, no, not holding the elbow, sorry. You're gonna take the arms across a little further, that's it. So again, this is all a maybe, right? Some people might really not enjoy this in their body. So you can stay in Sphinx. You can have your arms crossed, elbows in line with wrists, or you can slide your hands further away and come to this really rounded shoulder, sort of forward fold compression shape. Now we've got the left arm on top. That's the one that's going to start peeling out as you roll over your right hip and shoulder. Your left knee bends so you can fall into a twist. I'll show you one more time because I know it's kind of weird. So left arm peeling out, left knee bending, and I'm rolling over the right shoulder onto the back of my heart for a twist, and then just letting it sort of unfold, find its most natural place. Where's the most organic place here for your body to land? And what if you could make your skin so soft? And what if you could breathe and pour the breath right into your physical heart? And then keep going onto your back. Left knee is going to squeeze in. And then palms by your side, left leg up in the air. In a few, this is going to be clockwise circles. Up and over, up and around. I think I did it wrong last time. I'm not sure which way we did it last time. Anyway, it's all good movement. Take the top leg, reach it across the body over. You can take your arms up in the air, and we're going to roll onto the front side, getting ready for an asymmetrical cobra. So left leg stuck out, hands underneath your shoulders, peel your chest up. And then child's pose, pull the left leg back with you. So in your child's pose here, how about bringing your elbows down to the floor, coming up onto your forearms, clasping your hands in front of you, really rooting down through the center of the forearms here. You can tuck your toes under, right? Maybe this, we'll call this phase one. right? If this is where you want to stay, you could stay here. You could even cat-cow here. Could be really lovely. If you want to take it a step further, you could tuck your toes under, lift your hips up, come to a sort of downward dog on your elbows here with your palms interlaced. If you wanted to try touching your head down, you try to tap the crown of your head right in front of your hands. And then maybe lift up and look forward again. Do that a couple of times, building some shoulder strength. Those of you who have a headstand practice and you want to go there today, now's the time for that. You can go ahead and put your head down and lift your legs up. Otherwise, there's so many places you could be, right? You could still be working on tapping the head and lifting it up. You could just be in downward dog on your elbows, super strengthening. Or you could stay on your knees, be on your elbows and your knees, and do any kind of movement there with the spine that feels really lovely and supportive to you. Will just be another 3 or 4 breaths or so, 5 breaths. Enough time to get in, hang out, play a little bit. And then when you are ready to rest, whenever that may be in the next few moments, you can come to rest on your shins if that's okay with your body. If it's not, sit any other way. And just because repetition is really helpful, my teacher used to say another word for magic is repetition. We'll do our mudras and our mantras. So bringing your Samputta Mudra in front of your heart, dear one, I'm here for you. Picture them, it's really helpful. Picture them right in front of you. And then hook your pointer fingers, pull them apart, dear one. I'm so happy that you're here. And then touching the thumbs, palms open wide, dear one. I know that you're suffering, that's why I'm here for you. And then you can loosely interlace your fingers over your heart, dear one. I'm suffering too, that's why I need you. Releasing. So one more kind of a fun adventure thing here before we move on to some quieter stuff. So we're gonna come back to revisit elbows down on all fours. And so maybe I'll just show you first. Let me show you first. So take a breather for a moment. Let me move back so maybe you can see my feet and where I'm going. So elbows, doesn't matter which forearm's in front, you could try both of them. So I'm gonna cross my arms, hold my elbows. And this is just a maybe. This is a major maybe, okay? Tucking toes. I'm gonna drop my head in front of my arms. So making a triangle between my elbows and the crown of my head, like we do in headstand, only without interlacing this time, okay? Head goes down, toes tuck under. I might walk my feet in, right? That could be where you stay. That could be so great to work that, okay? If you have a wall, you could use it. You could try bringing one leg up at a time, or you might try a really wacky version of a headstand like that. Okay, and don't despair if that headstand is nowhere near. It's really okay. There's so many options. It's really good not to be great at everything. Okay, probably if you were perfect at everything you did, people really would like not want to hang around you that much. You know, it's nice to struggle a little bit like the rest of us. So you can cross your arms, hold your elbows. And your head is going, you're trying to make a triangle because triangles are very sturdy, right? So between your elbow points and the crown of your head, you want that to make a triangle. And that could be enough. Just putting some weight on the head is a lot. Or maybe the hips go up. You can come down anytime you need to, or you can stay on your forearms and do cat-cows on your forearms. Yeah. A wall can be helpful. If you don't have a wall, just lift one leg up maybe. Try to feel what it feels like to be asymmetrical. Maybe you try to come tiptoes on your bottom foot. When you've had enough, come on down. You can sit on your shins or other ways if that doesn't feel good to you. And I would say just let's pick one mudra to sit with for a moment. So Samputta, Yamapasha, Pralamba, or Vajra Pradama. Which one of those calls to you right now? Samputta, Yamapasha, Pralamba, Vajra Pradama. Choose one. Just breathe a few times. Just receive the breath. Release the breath. You might, like Thich Nhat Hanh would say, inhale, I know that I'm breathing in. And exhale, I smile. You would say sometimes your joy creates your smile, and sometimes your smile creates your joy. I mean, gosh, he said so many wonderful things. Okay, let your hands go. Swing your legs around in front of you. And from there, we'll reach that. Have feet on the ground. You can reach your arms forward and just roll yourself back bit by bit, bone by bone. And when you come all the way down, go ahead and cross your right ankle over your left knee. That could be a great place to stay. If you're feeling it, stay there. If you want a little more, pick your legs up and pull them towards your chest. You could clasp around the back of your left thigh. You might rock a little bit. Looking for those sticky spots that we can melt, right? Where is the stickiness? Can I melt it? Because if I don't melt it, it's going to stay there, right? And then I'm going to go to bed again and get a little stiff again. And there's going to be more stickiness tomorrow, right? That's the thing. So it's imperative that you move your body, a little bit at least every day. Get rid of that stickiness. So using your left leg, maybe try to rock yourself up here. See if that happens. If it doesn't, just come to sit up. And we're going to take right knee on top, Gomukhasana. So you can either bend both knees, right? Oh, my hip, I can't do that. Or you bend just the top knee and straighten out your bottom leg. And then we're going to add arms to it. Since we've been doing so much shoulder stuff, why not, right? So right leg is on top. That means your left arm. I'm going to mirror you so it looks more clear to you. Right leg on top, left arm goes up. Drop it behind your head. See if you can maybe touch your neck or the upper back. And then bottom arm is going to come from beneath and snake up your spine. Grab your t-shirt. If you don't reach your fingers, trust me, it's very normal not to reach your fingers. If you do reach your fingers, you can hook them. Otherwise, you grab some fabric and then finding your spine in your mind's eye. Bring all your awareness into your own spine. Make it as lovely, noble, and elegant as you can. Lift up through your crown or down through your seat. Make so much space. If you want to fold forward, go for it, but maybe just for a breath or two before you let the arms go. And we can spend a bit of time in the forward fold with soft arms and head draping. Living there for just a bit. So as you simmer in this pose a little bit, I'm going to read just a little more from Thich Nhat Hanh, talking about that last mantra, the hardest one, right? The one that says, the dear one, I'm suffering, please help. He says, when you're suffering, you must go to the person you love and ask for help. That's true love. Do not let pride keep you apart. You must overcome your pride. You must always go to him or her. That's what this mantra is for. Practice for yourself first to bring about oneness of your body and mind before going to the other person to say, dear one, I'm suffering, please help. This is very simple, but very hard to do. You can come on up. Releasing the legs, go ahead and roll it back down. If you need a big stretch or a windshield wipe in between, take it. And then left ankle crosses the right knee. You might happily stay there, or you might scoop the legs in and do any amount of snuggling and rocking or resting. And you might use the right leg as sort of a fulcrum to rock yourself up to sit, or any way that you get up to sit is good. That's it. And you got the left leg on top, Gomukhasana. It might be one leg crossed, might be two. With the left leg, oh, I'll mirror you again, right? With the left leg on, yeah, there we go. Left leg on top, right arm goes up and behind your head. Left arm scoops from underneath, tries to slide up the back of the spine. Maybe you hook fingers, most likely you grab your shirt. And then you find your loveliness. Soft skin, soft face, nice and easy around the eyes. And you might stay, you might release the arms, or you might keep the arms and lean forward an inch or two even. Doesn't have to be a ton. And then after some moments there, you can let the arms dissolve and just take it into your version of this forward fold. And it might even be that it's a seated upright fold because you feel enough. You know, we're never trying to go to like sensation hunting for the most extreme sensation. Well, this is Thich Nhat Hanh too, actually. I'm just going to paraphrase. I don't remember it exactly, but he would say something like, you know, you think that drama is happiness, or you think excitement is happiness, right? We do that. We sort of think like excitement and drama is happiness, but he said actually contentment is happiness, right? Actually, when there's very little drama, is happiness. So we try to not create more drama than we need to. Going ahead, and you can come on back up. We'll bring both legs straight out, front and center. You can flex your feet and sit up really bright and tall. And then walking your arms forward, try to keep a tall spine for today. Now, often we do it in a very melty way, but really anchoring the legs, lifting up through the sternum and walking your arms out until you feel that first place when your back wants to round, when your legs say enough. And just pause there and just breathe into that enoughness and feel it. And then for the final moments, then you can really let it soften. I'm going to totally release the muscles of my legs, let my arms be heavy, my spine be round, and head drop in. You want to put a block or bolster underneath you, you could definitely do that. If you need to open your legs a little wider, you could do that as well. Lots of options. So we're coming towards our closing here, and I'll let you be your best teacher. So you might stay in this forward fold. You might roll up if there's some other shape that your bones are calling out for. Please honor that. It could be a shoulder stand, a plow, a twist, a happy baby, or it might just be rest. And you can rest on your back, or you can rest seated, you can rest any which way. You might toss your legs up a wall or over a bed or chair. If you want to, if you're doing a seated practice, you could choose one of those mudras to sit with if you like. You could choose any mudra, or you could do a simple seated practice. Otherwise, you can lie down and just empty yourself in a shavasana. Coming down to the quiet in your bones. Staying there, but just checking in if there's any story in your mind. That story creates any tension in your bones, muscles. Can you disengage? Come back to the quiet in your bones. Feel yourself being breathed. It's an incredible gift, unconditional gift. Allow yourself to be breathed and to release the breath. To not be grasping or sticky, but just to let it come and go. You can feel your body's electricity start to brighten as you breathe. Maybe blink or wiggle your fingers. Rock your head. In no hurry, you might come back to sit. If you're feeling called to stay in the Shavasana or meditation, please stay. Otherwise, you can come on up and put your hands anywhere that feels good, on your body, on the floor, at your heart. And just repeating those mantras one more time, just to really plant it in our hearts. Picture the being that you adore, the human, the animal, or yourself. Just silently saying, dear one, I'm here for you. Dear one, I know you're there and I'm so happy. Dear one, I know you're suffering, that's why I'm here. And dear one, I'm suffering too, I need your help. You can seal those mantras into our hearts with an Om. Om. Thank you all. Thank you so much. So grateful.